All right. I'm back. Bitcoin Brandon, early morning crypto talk. Good morning, everybody. It's been a while. Been busy the last couple of days. A lot of great things are happening. Good morning, Kamal, Eldridge, Jeff, Darnell from the OKC. And I wish I could pronounce your name. That looks either Russian or from Kazakhstan. But hello to you. See JJ Lopes. Chevy, what's going on? Mr. Ross, I like that. Going back to Cali. Good morning, Dejan. Ellie from Seattle area. As a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, and it is up to you to decide on what you want to do with that. So somebody's trying to reach me and I'm in the middle of doing a Facebook Live. Come on, Miguel. All right, I've got 5 rules I live by in the crypto space. Number 1, crypto education. Number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Number 3, always get your return on investment. And number 4, find a game plan. And where do you want to be 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What are you doing to make that happen? Stay focused. Do not get distracted. This does not guarantee you success, but it will at least limit your risk. And that's the best we can ask for. All right, I've got, like 15 different articles here. And I'm not going to be able to cover all of them. So I'm just picking out a couple of them that kind of stuck out to me today on what we're going to cover this morning. The first, I want to go international. Venezuela. They seem to be the test subject country of the world that has launched their first cryptocurrency coin backed by something, which is their oil, which they call the petro. And as I stated before, that I believe Russia is completely behind this, completely, and they're using Venezuela to see how the rest of the world reacts, because they're going to be coming out with their ruble coin very soon. And they saw immediately the United States boycotted and banned the Venezuelan petro, which they expected, which they believe that will also do to the ruble coin when Russia tries to do that. But United States is also watching because we're looking to come out with our own Fed coin sometime in the future. So let's see what this article has to say. Good morning, Christy. Oh, I gotta put it in the chat box. All right. So here is some update on Venezuela. Venezuela's oil-backed cryptocurrency, the petro, has been surviving thanks to a little-known Russian bank, Evro Finance Mosnar Bank, which has recently emerged as the only international financial institution willing to defy the U.S. sanctions against the South American nation. Good morning, Vanita. According to an Associated Press report, early would-be petro investors who registered with Venezuela's government and downloaded the cryptocurrency's wallet were invited to buy it by wiring £1,000 minimum to a government-owned account at Evro Finance. The bank's involvement seemingly further ties Russia with the petro's launch. As covered, reports suggest Russia secretly helped Venezuela launch the oil-backed cryptocurrency, while a Russian official refuted the country's involvement. Notably, Enviro Finance's biggest shareholders are two state-controlled Russian banks, sanctioned after Russia's annexation of Crimea, and Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro, as the country's government purchased a 49% stake in 2011. As Russia's involvement was being discussed, the Russian Association of Cryptocurrency and Blockchain awarded the Venezuelan government the Satoshi Nakamoto Prize, as covered by CCN. Russia's involvement, according to the AP, may be linked to its relations with the West. Of course it is. This is not a secret. Per Claiborne W. Porter, the former head of the U.S. Justice Department's Bank Integrity Unit, the country is increasingly gaining pariah status with the European Union and the U.S. Porter stated. Like kids on the playground, Venezuela and Russia think they are fighting a common bully in U.S. sanctions, so they're going to try to form a united front. Partly correct. It is much bigger than that. Russia is not looking at Venezuela as a partner. Russia's looking at Venezuela as a little proxy. Their partners is Iran and China. And they're looking to have their whole Euro-Asian bloc to come out with their own cryptocurrency that they will do trade and purchase of oil with without having to use the US dollar. It is much, much bigger than little Venezuela. And I hope the U.S. government has figured this out. Because I figured it out just by reading articles and just having common freaking sense. Common sense. I mean, he ain't hiding it. Vladimir Putin just went on state TV last week and said the goal is to get rid of dependency on the U.S. dollar for oil transactions. The goal is to get rid of the United States having the ability to put sanctions on them. They're not hiding it. Historically, Russia has helped Venezuela with billions in debt relief and is a major investor in the country's oil industry. It has been a lifeline for Maduro, who's currently on the verge of dealing with more sanctions coming from the Trump administration, if it goes ahead with presidential elections this month. In other words, Russia knows that the United States government is crippling Venezuela with sanctions. So this is a test. They want to see, all right, can Venezuela survive and even thrive, even though the U.S. has sanctions on them, by having an alternative financial source and alternative buyers by using this cryptocurrency? And let's see how the U.S. responds to it. Because again, Venezuela is Russia's guinea pig. before they do anything, they want to see how things work out with Venezuela. And Venezuela has no choice. If I was the president of Venezuela and I didn't want to have relations with the United States, this is exactly what I would do as well. How to get away from the US dollar. All right, back in March, Trump banned U.S. citizens and residents from buying the oil-backed cryptocurrency. That wasn't surprising. When this was announced in January, some of you guys even asked me, hey, Brandon, are you going to invest in that petro? I'm like, heck no. It's going to get banned. And it did 2 months later. Move that doubled the number of interest in investors, of course. According to the AP, after it inquired in Viral Finance on its association with the petro, all references to it were removed from the petro's wallet, which left interested buyers with no guidance on how to proceed. What about the petro's development? How has it come so far? Because I haven't talked about it in about a month. While it is unclear how many petros the Venezuelan government has actually sold, Maduro has touted the cryptocurrency's pre-sale raked in $5 billion. These numbers, as shown, don't add up. Moreover, most foreigners agree that the oil-backed cryptocurrency is of little interest to them, and the century-old think tank Brookings Institute has even stated it undermines legitimate cryptocurrencies because it's not a cryptocurrency. All right, let me make this point very clear. Any state-backed cryptocurrency is not a cryptocurrency. It's fiat currency digitized. Because cryptocurrencies, by design, is supposed to be decentralized. No government control. Nobody controls it. Mined by the people. So don't get it twisted when you hear the Fed coin, the Petro, the Ruble coin. That's not cryptocurrency. That's the government's attempt to co-opt technology that they can't control. Know the difference. I'm going to say it one more time so it sinks in. It's the government's attempt to co-opt technology that they cannot control. All right, let me continue. Reports suggest popular cryptocurrency exchanges like Bitfinex have been staying away from it. Yeah, you're not going to see this being traded on Binance or Bitfinex or Poloniex or any of the others. It's not a crypto coin. For fear they will be violating sanctions. According to experts, only criminals would be interested in the petro. That's not true. See, this is why crypto education is so important. When you listen to the so-called experts, when you watch the so-called news, they have an agenda. They're feeding you some information that's not in your benefit. Like Fox News and Bloomberg telling everybody to buy Bitcoin when it was high and sell it when it was low. That's the complete opposite. And then experts say only criminals will be interested in the petro. No, the people in Venezuela are interested in the petro because that's the only way they're going to be able to eat and buy things. Not just criminals. I think I have an article dug in here somewhere. I will read about how the government always wants to throw, oh, it's criminal activity. They're using it for drugs and stuff. Vastly overrated. Vastly. The majority of people in the crypto space are not trying to buy drugs and weed and all the other stuff and fund ISIS. That's not true. That's a scare tactic. So, he goes on to state, an overwhelming majority of ICOs don't deliver on what they promise because their promoters are outright scammers or fall short of technical expertise. Partly true. In the case of the Venezuelan government, both reasons apply. That's not true. Speaking to the AP, the two Russians who reportedly signed agreements with Maduro to help the petro expand globally distanced themselves from the cryptocurrency, with one, Fedor Bogorodsky, claiming his company immediately ceased working with the project as soon as Trump announced his ban. No, they sped things up as soon as Trump announced his ban. Despite its status, Maduro keeps moving the petro forward. He's given state-owned institutions a 120-day period to start accepting it as legal tender. in all transactions and is set to create 16 local exchanges where Venezuelans will be able to exchange their depreciating fiat currency for the petrol. You see that? That's what's going to happen in the United States. A crisis, real or imagined, false flag or not, is going to happen in the United States. There's going to be a run on the banks. All accounts will be frozen. There's not going to be enough fiat currency physically for everybody to pull their money out of the bank because it's just not possible. $11 trillion worth of cash that Americans own, and only $2 trillion of it is in the banks. There's not enough physical money to go around. So the government's going to institute the Fed coin. They're going to say you can exchange the US dollars for the Fed coin. Mark of the beast. Oh, all that good stuff's going to take place. Anyways, whole nother topic. The Venezuelan government has in the past revealed it was working on another cryptocurrency backed by the country's gold reserves, called the Petro Gold. Okay, I had never heard of that one. The move is seen by some as a way to draw in foreign investment and bypass sanctions. Of course it is. Venezuela's moves were even slammed by Bitcoin.com CEO Roger Ver. Yuri Priprachik, president of Russia's blockchain group, noted that the Kremlin, pay attention to this, is keeping a close eye on the Petro, but isn't involved in it. Yeah, come on now. Nevertheless, he dismissed the idea that it could be used to fund criminals. He said, "That's a fairy tale." That's true. The most popular currency for terrorists and criminals the world over is the US dollar, not crypto, and nobody is suggesting we ban dollars. This is just an attempt to stop crypto from expanding. Correct! We have a government official who speaks the truth. Oh, wait, he's Russian, not American. I want to see an American government official stand up and say that. The SEC seems to be going down that path right now. The FTC chairman is saying that. It's a fairy tale. There's no terrorists. They're using the US dollar. Should we ban the US dollar? That's where child trafficking, sex trafficking, narcotics, opioids, and the president wants to give the death penalty for people using opioids and all that kind of stuff. That's the US dollar. All right, let's go on to the next article here. I want to get to that. Let me see if I can find that one about criminal activity. Let's see. I've got two computers with all of these. 5 years ago, you should have bought Bitcoin, not altcoins. Yeah, I know about that one. Banks are investing heavily in blockchain. Yeah. I think it's on my other computer. All right, let's go to... Ooh, this is 4 days old. Bitcoin price could reach $64,000 in 2019. So we are still in a buyer's market. Bitcoin, what, $8,500? Went up to $9,800. You can go down to $66,000. This is still relatively cheap. According to the experts who are looking long term, and I believe that you have the Wall Street guys that are purposely, keeping the value of Bitcoin down. And they're doing it for a reason. It's on purpose. So that they can buy more coins and shake the tree. Get all the people, people that don't understand what this is all about, get them out of the equation. All right, let's go back to this article here. Bitcoin could reach $64,000 by the end of 2019, according to Cryptocurrency Mining Economics. The study conducted by Wall Street strategy firm Fundstrat Global Advisors argues that the ratio between the Bitcoin price and miners' break-even cost has proven to be a reliable long-term support level for the flagship cryptocurrency, and that current and future mining infrastructure development will underpin Bitcoin price appreciation into the year in 2019. We expect the mining economy to grow over the next several years and project a BTC price of $36,000 by year end 2019, based on the historical average. So they use some nerd talk economics to figure this thing out. The doctor added that although $36,000 is the most likely target for the Bitcoin price, according to his analysis, it could end up anywhere in the $20,000 to $64,000 range, depending how the landscape develops over the next 18 months. I think if you removed the CME, the CBOE, Wall Street, NASDAQ, if you remove them, I see it easily going that high. But because they're here, we have an unknown. We've got the professionals in the field that are professional market manipulators. They're looking at this like a piggy bank. And it just depends on how long they will keep betting against Bitcoin to keep the price of it down. How long they're going to do that for. That's the unknown. That's what happened in December. They're the reason why it dropped from 19,800 all the way down to 12,000 and then down to 6,000. They purposely brought that sucker down. So this is the unknown. I can't speculate on this because I don't know. Historical data is going to be irrelevant because of this fact. We need new data now. But anyways, continue. Even the lower end of the range represents a 113% increase from the current Bitcoin price, while the more optimistic target represents a 583% surge. At the time of writing, Bitcoin was trading at $9,300. All right, let's go to another article here. I got to get these old ones. Yeah, here it is. Malicious use of Bitcoin is blown out of proportion. Let me put this in the chat box. Governments love to use this. Oh, it's illegal. Oh, we got to ban it. Too many illegal things going on. Japanese law enforcement agencies received a total of 346,595 reports about suspected money laundering between April and December 2017. Only 669 of these involved cryptocurrencies. These statistics nearly matched the findings of the Washington, D.C. based Foundation for Defense of Democracies. You see that? 0.19%. 669 out of 346,000. That doesn't even represent a blip on the radar screen. That's not even enough to report on. That's not even 1%. It's not even 0.5%. According to the research of this think tank Center on Sanctions and Illicit Finance, less than 1% of all Bitcoin transactions completed between 2013 and 2016 had illegal nature. Less than 1%. This is a fact. Are we back on Donald Trump alternative facts now? This is a fact. Alternative truth. This number decreased from... It decreased. You want to know what the old number was? 1.07%. Down to 0.61% over the past 3 years. So them saying, oh, it's gone, ISIS is using it, it's gone up, those Arabs out there are using it. No. It's gone down. In spite of the above figures, the crypto community is still confronted with regulators' statements where they condemn cryptocurrencies for being in cahoots with a criminal world engaged in drug dealing, arms trafficking, and terrorism. This is an article, ladies and gentlemen, you want to save. Anytime any clown starts running their mouth about criminal activity, you pull this up and drop it on them. Just be like, boom, facts. For instance, Europol and Interpol actively advocated this perspective at the Global Workshop for Financial Investors held in Basel, Switzerland in mid-January 2018. The U.S. House of Representatives has proposed a separate bill to counter money laundering that involves cryptocurrencies. That's a waste of time and a waste of money. You're putting a bill together for something that's happening less than 1% of all transactions, and that's what you're spending your time on? The Department of Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN issued guidance back in 2013 stating that the virtual currency business was subject to financial monitoring. However, the risk of money laundering and other illicit applications of cryptocurrencies might be overestimated, you think? Here is why. The ratio between the total cryptocurrency volume and its fraction used for money laundering is negligible. As a recap of the discussion at the workshop mentioned above in Basel, a Europol representative mentioned that about 2 to 3 billion euros were laundered using cryptocurrency since their emergence. Okay, that's nothing to blink an eye at. 2 or 3 billion, that seems like a whole lot, right? Well, considering that the current market cap was at $500 billion, the spooky figure provided by the law enforcement officer amounts to only 0.6% of its fiat equivalent. That means get out of here. That means there's a penny on the ground, you're not even going to pick it up. Furthermore, given the gross volume of dirty cash smuggled in handbags, toothpaste tubes, and car cladding, which has arguably reached 2 trillion. Okay, stop right there. Bitcoin crime, Bitcoin illegal activity, 2 billion. US dollar that they've caught, 2 trillion. Which one do you think they should be focusing their attention on? The one that's doing 2 billion or the one that's doing 2 trillion? So that's 60 times less than the percentage of Toyota vehicles with defective airbags. So if the United States government or Interpol, they want to protect and save the people, they should spend that time on defective airbags in Toyota vehicles rather than Bitcoin. That's silly. It's the truth. Defective Toyota airbags poses more risk to drivers and passengers than crime using Bitcoin. Wow. Based on the findings of the CSIF Center, as mentioned earlier, about 90% of all illicit Bitcoin transactions were associated with large dark net markets, such as Silk Road, Alphabet, and Agora. You know what? 99% of people using Bitcoin don't even know how to get to the dark net, let alone get on the dark net and try to do something illegal. I don't even know how to get on the freaking dark net. I don't have a reason to want to know. Most of these deals had to do with drug purchases. It is also common knowledge that large terrorist organizations are state-sponsored, and entities manufacturing weapons and possessing huge resources like oil do not need Bitcoin to fund these groups. They're using the US dollar. The Center for a New American Security further elaborated on this point in their Terrorist Use of Virtual Currencies report released in May 2017. The researchers listed additional hurdles to the use of cryptocurrencies for funding terrorism, such as poor internet connection and lack of expertise in the technology. The center's findings boil down to the fact that terrorists are interested in cryptocurrencies due to the growth of their value rather than the anonymity of transactions. In other words, they just want to make money like everybody else, and they're buying Bitcoin because they know it's going to increase in value. That's all. A disconcerting conclusion from the above is that, for example, most legal proceedings of the Ukrainian authorities regarding cryptocurrency transfers to criminal groups in the unrecognized Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republic might be a smokescreen aimed at obtaining criminal orders to visit a crypto exchange owner or mining center. It's a setup, in other words. They're using that as an excuse. The statement of Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council from January 11, 2018, which seeks to address risks of using virtual currencies for funding terrorism in eastern Ukraine, is nothing but ungrounded speculations. You got vague legal status of cryptocurrencies makes it hard to classify them as a means of money laundering. Here's some of the theory of financial crime singles out 3 stages of money laundering. 3 stages, all right, pay attention. Number 1, incorporation of illicit gains into legal structures of the economy. For instance, mafia obtained money from cocaine trade can be transferred to a nonprofit fund backing municipal initiatives. Number 2, multiple transactions aimed at obfuscating the actual origin of the assets. Number 3, the nonprofit fund from the example above can lend money. Number 3, integration of ill-gotten gains into the commercial domain where perpetrators ultimately get clean profit. It's called washing the money. For example, money from the nonprofit can be used to pay for services of companies indirectly owned by the criminals. That's what Donald Trump does, but they don't call that illegal. I used campaign funds, but I paid the campaign funds back. Meanwhile, the fact that cryptocurrency lacks a clear-cut legal status complicates the classification of its use at each stage of the laundering process. Some experts argue that the use of cryptocurrencies can play into the hands of those who want to launder money, while it can also well pose a risk to these individuals. With that said, successful use cases can be facilitated by the reluctance of traditional financial institutions to delve into the peculiarities of the blockchain technology. This tech, by design, provides virtually unrestricted capabilities for tracking transactions within the network itself. This hallmark is a godsend for AML, anti-money laundering departments of financial institutions and the law enforcement. It is worth mentioning that the Financial Action Task Force, intergovernment body, issued guidance for a risk-based approach to virtual currencies in 2015. This document highlights applicable measures to help players on the cryptocurrency market manage risks related to cryptocurrency transactions. And the takeaway from this: it comes as no surprise that some of the early cryptocurrency users were online drug dealers who cast a shadow over the technology that was originally aimed at changing the traditional financial system for the better. We should not forget, though, that some of the first customers of the railway were gangs in the Wild West that transported stolen gold this way. Yep. The operators of... You think about that. When the gold rush happened, it was also a booming time for criminals. Robbing the stage... How many Western movies were been made off that? Robbing the stagecoach. Robbing the trains. Should we have outlawed gold because of that? It was being used for criminal and illicit activities? For Eastern European states, using the new tech is a great opportunity to make a qualitative leap and raise capital. Last year, Japan demonstrated the effectiveness of a well-thought-out approach to regulating the market of virtual funds, which increased the country's GDP by 0.3%. The authorities of some smaller countries, including Malta, Singapore, and Gibraltar, also realized the potential of using the decentralized technology and are prepping ad hoc legislation to innovate their economies. Yeah, I got to save that article. Let me make sure I get that in my bookmark. Malicious use of Bitcoin. All right, I got that one saved. So anytime I hear somebody saying something dumb, I'm pulling that one out. Oh, this is another 4-day-old article. Bitcoin moons to $36,000 by end of 2019. Well, I already read that, and we already covered that one, so I won't cover that one again. Good morning, Miss Kathy Keene. I'm watching the news right now. They're talking about that volcano's about to erupt any moment now. Guys, be careful out there. What's going on, Mr. Albert? Mr. I own 10 Bitcoin mining machines. That's what I'm talking about. Although it's green mining machines. Ooh, what did Brandon just say? Mining machines. What's that all about? Well, I'll talk about that in a moment. All right. Oh, what is this? 10 charts which show this is just the beginning of crypto. I think I'll save this one for tonight. Late night crypto. All right. As SEC debates whether cryptocurrencies are securities, Initiative seeks to distance XRP from Ripple. I'm not too sure what this is all about. XRP is the sign, crypto sign for Ripple. So what are they talking about here? I may not read the whole thing, but let's get into just a little bit. I love those coins, Kathy, also that you ordered. Phil's gonna love that. Okay. The world's third largest cryptocurrency is about to get a makeover, at least if one supporter gets his way. Earlier this week, Alexavier Guzman unveiled XRP symbol. Huh? An open source quest to find a new logo for XRP? What? And assign it a Unicode compliant currency sign. Alright, this is foreign for me. I'm learning something new here. Guzman explained in a Forbes op-ed that he was prompted to start the initiative after realizing that although XRP has an ISO 4217 currency code, it does not have a Unicode standard symbol. This is nerd talk. The XRP symbol is an open source project that started after I realized that XRP was using an ISO 4217 currency code and not a symbol or currency sign. Other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin were given a symbol that was added to the Unicode standard. The symbol for Bitcoin is B. I believe that XRP should be treated just like any other currency. Wrong, because XRP is not designed to be like any other currency. That's open for a whole nother debate, but let me continue. Ripple has lent its approval to the effort and has encouraged its social media followers to contribute to the project. However, the XRP symbol project has another major goal. Choose an XRP logo that is not identical to the one used by Ripple, the San Francisco-based company that issues and develops financial projects that use the currency. Because XRP does not currently have its own symbol or logo, the currency is often associated with Ripple's trademark. Because of this, many people believe that XRP is a product of Ripple, and even go far as to call XRP Ripples. Well, yeah, that's how it's been since the beginning. Now we got to learn something new? Of course. The perception that Ripple is a product, XRP is a product of Ripple, is based on more than just the logo, as the company is the chief issuer of the asset. I actually understand why they're doing this, because there's so many different projects underneath the Ripple banner that all of them can't be considered XRP. It's not. XRP is a coin, but there's many projects under Ripple. So I understand the difference. At one point, Ripple owned 80% of the total XRP supply, which is capped at 100 billion. The other 20% was split between its creators, which it has distributed through sales, grants, donations, and other giveaways. The company currently holds about 60 billion XRP, most of which are held in escrow. All right, enough of that article. That's boring me. Let's go on to something else. Let's see. What is this? Seminole County, Florida embraces Bitcoin cash payments and Bitcoin payments. Another state going down, and I don't mean by going down the bad way. The dominoes are following. We had Georgia and Arizona were the first two. Then you had Wyoming. Now you've got Florida. The dominoes are falling one by one. Are you guys still standing on the sidelines waiting for it to come down on you? Ooh, an article just popped up. Founders of $32 million Mayweather-backed ICO indicted for securities fraud. You guys remember the Mayweather ICO that came out last year? Mayweather supposedly backed. All right, let me not get sidetracked. Let's talk about Florida. Residents of Seminole County in Florida can now pay their taxes with Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. Stop right there. If the government is allowing you to pay your taxes with a cryptocurrency, then you cannot consider that cryptocurrency a security. You have to define it for what you're using it for, and that is as a currency itself, like fiat. Is not a security. You're using it as currency, right? I mean, I'm no lawyer, but what's the definition? You're using it for currency. You might as well call it a currency. I don't see people paying for their taxes with their houses. That's an asset. I don't see people paying their taxes with their cars. Only time that happens is they get it repossessed because you can't pay your taxes. They're saying, oh yeah, go ahead and pay Pay your taxes with Bitcoin. The government is funny with that. Yeah, they'll take your money in Bitcoin, but at the same time, they want to tax you on it and call it a security. Joel Greenberg, the state tax collector, announced the county would begin using BitPay. Wait. Didn't the government just last year try to ban or put pressure on all the Visa companies to end Bitcoin credit cards? And BitPay was one of them. And now look, 6 months later, the county could begin using BitPay, a cryptocurrency payment processor, to receive payments starting June 2018. I tell you something, and it even goes down to when people want to protest and you want to fight something, always hit them in the pocketbooks. Money. You want to get somebody or an institution to move and change? Challenge the money. Put money in the equation and watch how fast things change. Seminole residents will be able to make an array of payments using virtual currencies, including property taxes, as well as fees relating to tags, driver's license, titles, and ID cards. Are you kidding me? Now the DMV is taking Bitcoin. Can you imagine that? You walking up into the DMV and they got a separate line for Bitcoin users. That'll make things go by real fast, right? I mean, people that are smart, any chance you can get to buy and pay something with Bitcoin, you take. If you can pay for a car in Bitcoin, do so. If you can buy a house in Bitcoin, do so. There's other reasons for that. You don't want to have all that money sitting in your bank account. Anyways, whole nother topic. I'm not a licensed financial advisor to be talking about that kind of stuff yet. So let me continue. From his statement, Greenberg seemed to appreciate cryptocurrencies and their underlying technology, the blockchain, as appropriate tech innovations for driving efficient service delivery in the county. Acknowledging the need to shift to cryptocurrencies, Greenberg highlighted features such as transparency, efficiency, fraud resistance. I thought that Bitcoin was being used for fraud, but now you're saying it can be used for fraud resistance? And accuracy that make digital currencies an ideal choice for his office. Here's what I find funny. I stated at the beginning of the year that 2017 was Star Wars: A New Hope for all of us. 2018 started off as the Empire Strikes Back, as the government put the smackdown on the entire cryptocurrency industry. What I did not know is how long that would last. And I am actually surprised that 4 months later, 5 months later, that government agencies, even from the SEC down, is changing their tone. They're shifting the way they're looking at cryptocurrencies. Now they're starting to realize the true value of it. That instead of us looking at this as evil, let's look at how this is actually going to help us. Help government be more smooth without us having to hire more people. Help eliminate the paperwork. Allow things to be more accurate. Because, I mean, there's nothing more accurate than a government employee, right? Being sarcastic there. There's nothing personal against any government employee. I used to be one. But I'm just saying, the benefits of adopting this technology far outweighs your efforts to try to stop it. Even Bill Gates said before he and his Berkshire Hathaway buddies went on a whole Bitcoin bash, he even said, and it's recorded, him saying, Bitcoin can't be stopped. Yes, Bill Gates said it. It's not hearsay. So this is an interesting turn of events that's happening in a short period of time, that the governments are starting to come around to this. It says, the aim of my tenure in office is to make our customer experience faster, smarter, and more efficient, and to bring government services from the 18th century into the 21st century. And one way is the addition of cryptocurrency to our payment options. Even so, Greenberg's move to accept cryptocurrency payments seems to be aligned to the commitment he made to his voters in 2016. During the campaigns, as promised the people of Seminole County, that he would introduce new technologies. There you go. He's fulfilling a campaign promise. Growing interest. For BitPay, the partnership with Seminole County is highly, or lost my place. The partnership with Seminole County is highly significant because it is the first of its kind for the company. Jeremy Boudry, head of compliance at BitPay, said, with the Seminole County Tax Collector's Office, we have engaged our first government agency to accept Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash by making it easy and seamless for them. However, Seminole County isn't the only government office that has taken steps to integrate cryptocurrencies into its payment system. Earlier in 2018, legislators in states such as Georgia and Arizona proposed laws aimed at allowing payment of state taxes using virtual currencies like Bitcoin. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Even as Seminole County hopes to utilize BitPay to facilitate fast and cheaper payments for its residents, there are concerns that transactions on the Bitcoin network might be too expensive, even impractical for small amounts. Let me stop right there. That is also why I stated, when I read that article the other day where who was it? Not Novogratz. Someone else that stated that he's a billionaire, that Bitcoin will be the world's currency in the future. And I disagree with that. I think there will be a cryptocurrency that will be the world's currency. I just don't think it will be Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin will always be seen as a store of value and will be cryptocurrency's version of gold. People want it to hold it because they know the value is going to jump up to 100 grand and more. They're not trying to sell. People that I know, and I'm like, this is like boots on the ground. They're not trying to sell their Bitcoin. They're not trying to spend their Bitcoin if they don't have to. They're trying to amass as much as they possibly can. The other day I read an article that billionaires, they've got $10 billion worth of Bitcoin stashed in an underground vault, like the seed vault. It's like with people that buy gold, they're not trying to sell gold. They're using it as a store of value. I think that a more efficient, faster, better crypto coin that's either already out or hasn't been invented yet will come out and will be that day-to-day transactions for the world. That's what I personally believe. Doesn't mean I'm right. I could be wrong. Just based on my education, from what I've seen, I believe so. So is the juice worth the squeeze? Okay, at the peak of cryptocurrency popularity and price in December 2017, Bitcoin transaction costs hit a high of $37 for a single transaction. I remember I had transferred like 15. Oh, let me shut up. Never mind. I don't want to be talking about what I do with Bitcoin. I just remember the price was like $300 or $400 or something when I moved some money around. Anyways, currently a single Bitcoin transaction costs about $1.26. In addition to this, Seminole County residents will be expected to cater for a 1% transaction fee payable to BitPay. That's a huge development taking place. All right, let's see this one. Ooh, this just came out this morning. So I already read an article talking about Bitcoin to hit 36,000 by the end of 2019. Look at this article. BitMEX chief predicts Bitcoin price to hit $50,000 in 2018. That's this year. We've got less than, 8 months to go. Bitcoin is going to go from $8,500 to $50,000. Really? What if it fails by 50%, his prediction? What if he fails and it goes to $25,000? I'm okay with that. Fail the test. I'm okay with that still. But here's the article. There are numerous Bitcoin price predictions floating out there, but when the head of a major Bitcoin derivatives exchange shares his forecast, the price prediction has legs. You want to know why? Because these are the big boys. These are the guys that are betting for and against. They're the ones that's forcing the price of Bitcoin down right now, and they're waiting for the right time when they'll allow it to skyrocket and they walk away with their money, with their profit. So when he says this, yeah, you might want to pay attention because they've got a plan. While the Bitcoin price has bounced back and is inching closer to the 8,800 level, it's still a far cry from Hayes' price prediction. And don't think that can't happen fast. 1 year ago, you know what? Let me pull up CoinMarketCap. I want to do this. I want to prove a point here. Today is May 15th. Okay, let me pull up Bitcoin. Let's go back 1 year. So 1 year ago today, May 15th, 2017, guess what the price of Bitcoin was? $1,731. That was just 1 year ago today. And today it's $8,500. So let me ask you a question. If you can go back in the past, forget about December when it went all the way up to almost $20,000. If you knew that in 1 year, the price of Bitcoin was going to jump eightfold, that if you spent $1,700 on one coin, that coin would be worth $8,500 a year from now, how many of you would go ahead and maybe put 50 grand into Bitcoin if you could? 100 grand, $500,000 if you could 1 year ago, because you were sure, you were guaranteed that it would at least be $8,500 1 year later. I want to put some things in perspective, because at the price of $8,500 right now, 1 year from now, that could be $85,000 1 year from now. It could be. This is why we have repeatedly stated this is the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. And all you need is access to the internet and be willing to learn to change your financial situation. I no longer have sympathy for people who contact me and they're struggling financially. I have empathy, but I don't have sympathy. Do you understand the difference? Empathy means I understand your situation. I plead with you. I cry with you. I've been there before. I don't sympathize with you because it is a short-term situation that you can get yourself out of by making a decision, and you choose not to. So when you choose not to make a decision to change your situation, I no longer sympathize with you. I pity you. And not one person listening to the sound of my voice can say there are no opportunities for them. Doesn't matter your race, your religion, your color, your creed, your gender, Me Too movement, none of that. Nothing matters. You have access to the internet. You have access to be able to learn about cryptocurrency. You can have $50 to your name and change your life in a short period of time. That's why we launched Cryptogenics. If all of this sounds foreign to you, your ability to learn, nobody can take from you. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars to go back to college. You got $300 and you're willing to learn? You have that power, and we have provided the solution. And I went way off track. Let's get back to this price prediction here. While the Bitcoin price has bounced back, yeah, I read that part. Let's go back. Though, as Fundstrat market strategists have pointed out, much of the gains in the Bitcoin price tend to unfold over just a handful of days each year. That's true. Even at the start of the new year, when Bitcoin price was trading in the doldrums, Hayes wasn't fazed. though he pointed out it's his job to make predictions whether or not they come true. Hayes, a Citigroup alum, explained that he is a volatility trader and he makes his money on the volatility in the Bitcoin price, which there has been no shortage of year to date. If it goes up, if it goes down, if you have Bill Gates calling it a fraud, short it, I don't care. If you think it's going to be $1 million in a few months, great, buy it. I still don't care. We just match trades, Hayes said. Asia-focused BitMEX is geared toward retail investors, but instead of spot trading, it has some of the advanced features that you might expect to see on an institutional trading platform, including derivatives, margin trading, and up to 100 times leverage, which is more of a headline number and not something most traders take advantage of. The exchange supports short trading and perpetual contracts. Hayes also addressed the cultural differences that affect cryptocurrency market dynamics in the Western world and Asia. The latter, meaning Asia, of which is where some suggest 2/3 of the market originates from. I think Asia dominates crypto because they're very used to trading digital assets, like the Forex market, said Hayes, pointing to South Korea, where locals are accustomed to trading virtual goods and video games, and where the culture is easily transferred to cryptocurrency trading. And it's individuals, not institutions, that are driving most of the volume. That's key there. In the United States, it's going to be the institutions driving the volume. In Asia, it's going to be the people. There's really not too much institutional presence right now in crypto. It's a retail phenomenon, Hayes told CNBC. But many are expecting that institutional investors that have been sidelined are on the brink of a shift where they too will enter the space, especially with traditional Wall Street banks like Goldman Sachs launching a trading desk and the New York Stock Exchange also jumping in. When that happens, Hayes said BitMEX is prepared to support them, pointing to the exchange's API. Hayes got the Twitter sphere talking when he claimed in a tweet to show up at Consensus 2018, which is unfolding in Midtown Manhattan this week. Hint, hint, I expect the price of Bitcoin to rise in the next week. That's my prediction because of this event. In one of those famous crypto, he's going to pull up in a crypto Lamborghini. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh. Kathy, you could put it down. I'm going to have a goal. One day I'm going to have a Lambo. If Hayes is correct and the Bitcoin price attains $50,000 as he predicts, there could be a lot more Lambos on the road in the not too distant future. I don't know how much my Lambo will be on the road. It'll be sitting in the driveway, but I'm going to get a Lambo. All right. Since I have been away for so long, I think I will do one more bonus article and then I got work to do. So let's see what article out there that I've been sitting on. Oh, this is a good one. Only 8.5% of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency traders are female. Where the ladies at? That's right, Kathy. All Bitcoin. Where are the ladies? Let me put this in the chat box. I could have saved this for late night crypto talk, but yeah, you know what? I will. That's a good topic to save for late night. Let's pull up another article here. See, no, I don't want to cover that one. How to survive a blockchain conference with... Okay, yeah, this is good information. Is it short or long? Oh, it's pretty short. How to survive a blockchain conference without getting hacked. This also goes with when you're at Starbucks. I can sum up this entire article with one word. Never use public Wi-Fi. You know, I got a new car, right? And this car has its own Wi-Fi on it. And it extends like 100 feet from the car. So whenever I'm out and about, I'll never use the public Wi-Fi. I'll only use my own Wi-Fi on my car, my vehicle. When I was at the Blockchain Expo in London, I turned off my Bluetooth and my I had it on airplane mode because I didn't want any access, anything. That's a perfect. That's like telling all the hackers in the world, shining a spotlight on, you want to get people with Bitcoin? Here you go. All right, so let me go back to where I just lost it. How to survive a blockchain conference without getting hacked. Blockchain conference season is here. The industry's equivalent of Hollywood's awards season. It's an opportunity for crypto celebs to tread the red carpet and for everyone from minnows to whales to mingle. Oh, I just got an idea. Because I'm thinking in my head, people pulling up. You know how your brain can work a million miles a second? I just had a flash of future blockchain expos and stuff. And me pulling up in a freaking Lambo with it wrapped in cryptogenics all over it. That's what I'd use it for. Marketing. Anyways. Blockchain conference season is here. The industry's equivalent of Hollywood's awards season. It's an opportunity for crypto celebs to tread the red carpet and for everyone from minnows to whales to mingle, network, and learn. But if you're not careful, it's also a chance to get your devices owned and your cryptocurrency swiped. Let's say like the Blockchain Expo in Santa Clara, I'd ship my Lambo up there a week early. Or I got to go to Texas for it. I'd ship it out there just for the event. I'm getting ideas. Stay focused, Brandon. Stay focused. Okay. There are cryptocurrency conferences all through the year, but May is when they reach their zenith. Last weekend saw Futurama in Dubai, a glitzy event whose guests included Brock Pierce and whose closing party took place on a yacht in the Gulf. Next week, it's the turn of Consensus, New York City, the industry's largest event that will welcome 7,000 attendees and hundreds of delegates. Why was I not paying attention to this event? This type of an event is bigger than the Blockchain Expo in London. The cumulative value of the portfolio swirling around inside New York's Hilton Midtown will comfortably run into the billions of dollars. The vast majority of that wealth will have been left at home on hardware devices and paper wallets stashed in secure vaults, but that doesn't mean attendees will be immune from thieves. For one thing, you probably have more of your crypto holdings on an exchange readily accessible via the 2FA app in your pocket than you care to admit. Those of you who don't know what a 2FA is, Cryptogenics, we've got a whole lesson just on 2FA. They can fish or social engineer now and strike later when you're on the other side of the world. Here's one thing. I was at the Blockchain Expo, but I was sitting just watching people and listening. I love to observe. That was more important to me than the actual expo itself. I wanted to see the behavior of these other crypto people. And as I'm sitting there in the lounge, and I'm listening to guys say, so how many Bitcoins do you got? Oh, yeah, well, I've got them stored here. I've got them stored there. It's basically measuring your private sizes for the guys. As you know what I'm talking about. I can't be vulgar on this Facebook Live. But they're measuring their pant size. Let's put it that way. And then they're pulling up on their phone. They're pulling up their Exodus wallets and showing it to each other. And then one guy, hey, have you heard of this exchange? Yeah, I got about, 10,000 ADAs on this exchange. And they're pulling it up. Which means you have to log in. And they're doing so on their mobile devices at a freaking Blockchain Expo. I'm like, really? There's a movie coming out right now called Ocean's 11. I think I want to make a movie called Ivy's 1. If you're an ultimate hacker, you go to these events, you get your software out, you just sit there and record everybody, all their devices. I was like, wow, I was amazed. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked again. Oh, there was this one dude. I couldn't believe he did this. I was at this massage booth, right? Getting a massage. And they only took cash. And one guy was complaining to one of the girls. And he was saying, this is a blockchain expo. Why the hell would you only take cash? Here's my BitPay card. Let me pay with Bitcoin, right? And the massage people, they didn't even know what Bitcoin was. They were just brought in to service the event, okay? And then one guy comes up. Oh, cash? You need cash? He opens up his wallet or some version of the wallet. I've never seen this type of wallet before. So I guess I'm not on the big boy status just yet. But he opens up this wallet. And it was like stacks of hundreds in this wallet. Just stacks of it. And he had a t-shirt on. And his t-shirt said Bitcoin Millionaire on his t-shirt. And, you know, since I do love the people watch, I profile like there's no tomorrow. And this is one of those guys that you would see a pretty little model with. And the moment you see her with him, the first thing that comes to your mind would be, he must be rich. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those type of guys. I'm trying to be nice here. But he's one of those guys that the pretty girl in his arm is because he's got a whole lot of money in the bank. And he opens up this wallet. And it was like looking at a rap video. And I was like, you're walking around with that type of cash on? And then you know what he said? I always like to have cash on me just in case I can't use my BitPay card. Or not, it wasn't a BitPay card yet. It was like a, dang, what was the name of that card? It was that they use in Europe, version of BitPay. And I was like, dude, you know, I'm from Compton, California, okay? Let me not catch you outside. Let me not just kind of follow you and see what hotel you're staying in. But just the stupidity in an effort to floss is mind-boggling. Always in this space, stay down to earth. This isn't the MLM where you want to flash how much money you're making on the cars you drive in your house. I bought a new car with Bitcoin money. You haven't seen me post it on Facebook. You haven't seen me flaunting in front of it. I haven't even mentioned that I did, only just on Facebook Live. When I buy a new house, you won't see me posting it up all on Facebook, although my wife probably will, but not because she's trying to flaunt. She's just proud. But you got to be very careful, security reasons, in this space. There's a time and a place for doing so. So anyways, let me continue. The first rule when attending any public conference, especially one as high profile as Consensus, is to avoid insecure Wi-Fi networks. How do you know if a network's insecure? You probably don't, which is why you're best relying on mobile data only. Yeah. Yes, mobile data only. I don't even trust that. I don't need to look at my crypto account while I'm at the blockchain expo. I know what's in my account. That Wi-Fi point named after the conference you're attending could just as easily be a honeypot. And there was a Wi-Fi account at the blockchain expo in London. I didn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. If you must connect via Wi-Fi while at the conference or your hotel, be sure to use a VPN. That's smart. In addition, keep your cell phone's Bluetooth and NFC turned off, and don't plug it into a USB port to charge. Oh, that's a new one there. You don't know what's on the other end of that cable. And while it could be innocuous, it could just as easily be extracting your data. Oh, I didn't know about that one. So don't use USB. Okay, here's something that I do when I travel. I've got like 4 battery packs, backup battery packs, so that my cell phone will never lose power for the whole day. It's for the next 3 days. So anytime I need to charge, I pull out my little battery pack. And I have this little, those of you that were with me in London, you saw I had this like little carry-on type thing over my shoulder, like an over-the-shoulder type bag strapped to my body. One, because I lose stuff all the time, so my wife made me wear that so I can't lose anything. But I've got my battery pack and my phone in there, so it's always constantly charged. You don't even see the battery packs. But that's what I would advise. Oh, Kathy, you had a danger alert using the condo Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's, you know, and that scares me about even in the hotel rooms, because I do use hotel room Wi-Fi for my laptop, because my laptop doesn't have, you know, my mobile data. But I got to second guess that now. I got to think, if I bring my computer, only use it because I needed it for making videos and stuff, but don't use it to access the internet. I think only use your mobile device that has your mobile data to access. I'm thinking out loud to myself right now because I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling. But keep my laptop disconnected. That might be wise now. All right, anyways, if you must connect via Wi-Fi while at the conference or your hotel, be sure to use a VPN. In addition, keep your cell phones, Bluetooth, and NFC turned off. Don't plug into a USB port. The best thing about blockchain conferences isn't the panel discussions, and it certainly isn't the ICO pitches. No, the best part is the after parties. Uh-oh. All those networking opportunities and chances to bump fists with crypto bros you've previously only known as an avatar in a Telegram group. Some words of caution are necessary, though. Literally anyone can whip together a business card purporting to be an investor or an OTC broker. Pull on an expensive shirt, an extended firm handshake. Due to the public nature of crypto conferences, there is no means of vetting participants and no easy means of telling who's legit and who's a snake. That ICO whale who's befriended you and returned to your room for drinks, okay, come on now, let's be smart, could be the real deal, or they could just be waiting for an opportunity to slip something in your vodka and pilfer your laptop once you've passed out. I was in Sweden, right? And it was 4 in the morning when I was leaving the hotel to go on my way back to the airport to fly back to London. And when the elevator door opened up, 2 Swedish girls came piling out, drunk as hell. It's 4 in the morning, so they were just coming in, and they saw me. And one was like, she bumped into me. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," deep in the Swedish accent. And I just responded, "Oh, no problem. It's okay. It's all good." "Oh my gosh! Oh, American! Oh, you're so beautiful, American man!" And you know how that story can go. Long story short, I was invited to come back to their room because they said, I'm an American, so I'm used to in LA. If my flight is at 7 o'clock, I'm at the airport by 4. All right. I'm used to being at the airport 3-4 hours before the flight. That's not the case over there. Even in London, you don't even get your gate number to the gate till 45 minutes before the flight takes off. So I'm in Sweden. My flight doesn't leave until 7 a.m., but I'm ready to go. I'm at 4 a.m. I'm out. So they were like, you're too early. You've got at least an hour. Come back to the room, come back with us. And the only thought that went through my head, besides any other type of fantasy that I might have had 20 years ago in my 20s, the only thought I had in my head was, if I were to do that, can you imagine me waking up being tied to the bed or something, my wallet stolen, my laptop stolen, all my Bitcoins gone, and now I missed my flight back to London. My wife's wondering what the heck happened, and it's an international incident. All I could think of was security. That overwrote any other fantasy that might have came to my mind about I'm in Sweden, 4 in the morning, and 2 drunk Swedish girls telling me to come back to their room. Anyways, it's all about security. Let me continue here. This advice isn't intended to be alarmist. Crypto people are some of the friendliest and most generous people you could ever hope to meet in real life. The less said about their Twitter personas, the better. Provided you follow basic OPSEC, you will be able to relax at the conference, enjoy yourself, and forge friendships that will last for years. Be careful, though, not to brag about gains, share portfolios, or engage in any other behavior that could mark you out as a target. You know, any blockchain expo I go to, I'm acting like I'm the poorest dude in the room. There ain't no need to... You're right, Ron. I needed a wingman on that one. there ain't no point to floss, because there's probably a billionaire in the room as well. So your paltry, I made 60,000 in one day, is nothing to them. No need to put this ain't MLM, where you walk into an MLM network marketing event and you want everybody to know you're making the most money in the room. No. You want to have the opposite mindset in the crypto space. You might end up getting kidnapped. All right, if possible, leave your primary laptop and smartphone at home and travel with a burner. Oh, now I understand. I did hear some guys at the expo talking about that they've got several phones. You know, they've got their main phone and then they got a phone that they travel with. That makes sense. That way, whatever happens, you'll wake up regretting nothing more than that last shot of tequila. And I did learn a lesson, because I lost my freaking laptop and tablet on a train in London. Fortunately, I got it all back. I got my laptop, everything back. But all my info was on there, if they figured out how to get into it. So that might be smart. I'm thinking when I travel, don't take my main laptop. I'll go buy, you know, a little, I don't need a 19-inch laptop when I'm traveling, or 15-inch. I'll get like a 12-inch mini one that's easy to travel with, that can just connect to the internet, that doesn't have any of my stuff on it. Giving myself ideas now, you know. See, I don't read these articles just to be entertaining to you guys. I do this so that I can learn myself. And that is a very smart. My tablet can, but I think having that little laptop, yeah, I just gave myself a great idea. I'm going to go get me another mini laptop for traveling purposes. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I went about an hour and a half since I haven't done a crypto talk in a couple of days. Tonight, what's taking place tonight? Well, today, in 2 hours from now, there will be a Cryptogenics presentation, kgxglobal.info. I'm doing it tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will also have a couple of slides in there about our mining rigs. Ooh. Just wait another week or so when I get far more information and you start to see the promo that we put out. This is for those of you in Cryptogenics that have been looking for and waiting for a high ticket item. I've been making $500 a sell. But even though that excites me, you know what excites me even more? The ability to mine a coin that nobody knows about yet, that we know is going to be a huge hit, and be able to mine a whole lot of it now, so that when everybody starts to figure it out and the value of it goes up, cha-ching, we get paid. Because the only way for the coins to be in existence is they have to be mined. And we're the only ones mining it. Well, not the only ones, but we're one of the groups that's mining it. Would you rather buy the golden egg or the golden noose that's producing the golden eggs on a monthly basis? So for those of you that you're excited about education, as you should be, but you're also looking to expand, because there are 3 ways of making money in the crypto space: buying and holding, trading, and mining. Investing in trading or investing in mining. So if that is you, we've got it for you, and we're doing it legally. None of this cloud mining BS that's getting cease and desist orders on all of them in the United States. I had a talk with a gentleman last night. Doesn't know too much about the crypto space, but he wanted to get into mining. And he wanted to get into auto trading and auto bots. And he told me about a company here in Orange County that, and he showed me what they're advertising. And I said, they're illegal. They're operating illegally. They may be able to get away for it with 6 months, but they will get shut down or they will get sued. They are doing the sale of a security. And you guys are talking about dropping $50,000 and $100,000 into it. And they say they're going to do some mining. We are doing the mining, but you own the rig. No cloud mining. Company doesn't take your money. And it all goes to your wallet. So yes, that is very, very exciting. And you guys want to be you guys have the chance to be the first on it. Imagine if you were the ones when Ripple first started to come out, or when Ethereum first started to be mined. When it was worth only a couple of dollars. Anyways, I'm going to be talking about some of that tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So that's 6 o'clock LE on kgxglobal.info tonight. All right, I got some people to talk to, some work to do. God bless. You guys have a great day. And I will see you all tonight. Bye-bye.
Crypto Gen X.